Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sure.
So exam entities, yeah, you can consider this is the only, this is a entity and the name, student numbers, phone number, and email. You can consider more also, but these are the attribute. So exam entities, sorry, exam attendees means you are attending the exam. For example, we can write here a student also, but it is again a perception of your individual. Yeah, so you can sit in a exam, student attendees sit in an exam, hence it is related to the exam. They appearing for the exam, they writing the paper in the exam, hence the relation. Yeah, there is a relation, sit. So again you can modify this also. This is not limited, I say it is up to how you think. Yeah, so exam numbers or subject, then exam is associated with the record card, with the relation record, with the relation record, and record card is the entity. So record card has the attribute like a record number, subject, name, score. You can add the more entities to the record number, record entities. You can add the more attribute to the exam entity. You can add the more attribute to exam attendees. Instead of exam attendees, you can consider the student. You can add the office if connected. You can add the teacher if connected. You can add the supervisor if he connected. If you consider non-teaching staff, so it is again how you optimally think and draw. It is the perception of your mind, how you broadly think and try to add in the ER diagram, try to enhance the thing, try to enhance the database structure, try to model it better way. So this care has to be. This is just a template. This is just a template to get idea of the ER diagrams. So what are the benefit of the ER diagrams? So it is a design aspect. Remember, it is design aspect. So before going for actual implementation, as we all know, before implementation, one should complete the design. So before actual database implementation, by using the database tool, one should create or get the design ready of particular database, right? Let's suppose I said, I suppose I ask you to design the database for university database. Suppose I ask you implement the database for library system. So when implementation come, for the implementation come, so you should before implementation you should keep the design of library system ready, and that database design is nothing but the ER modeling, nothing but the ER modeling. So if the ER modeling is accurate, then your implementation phase will be easy. Yeah, so it means what is the benefit of ER diagram? The benefit is that it will be easy to proceed, and you will get better proficiency, better performance, and to overcome the problems in the implementation phase, we should go for the ER diagrams. So it will be considered, these are the benefit of the ER diagram. So ER diagram constitutes a very useful framework for creating and manipulating the database. First thing, ER diagram is easy to understand and do not require a person to go extensive training to able to work with efficiently and accurate. So once you complete the ER diagram, so when the implementer can easily understood what you draw, and it will be going in efficient and accurate way while implementation. This means that the designer can use ER diagram to easily communicate with the developer. Remember, it's very much important. Yeah, how this ER diagram, how this design help us to the developer. Yeah, how it help us to the developer. So this means that designer can use ER diagram to easily communicate with the developer, yeah, with the programmer, with the analyst, customer, and the end user, regardless of their IT proficiency. Yeah, IT proficiency. So if they are not IT person, even though they can easily understood ER diagram and the database part. Remember, second, ER diagram, ER diagram are really transferable into relational tables. As we have seen in last lecture, ER diagram can be mapped easily to the table, and table is nothing but the relation, and in Oracle database all the data is stored in terms of table. Means if you draw the ER diagram correctly of particular database, then you can easily create the relation, the table in the database tool. For example, if I supposed to ask you to implement the ER diagram, implement the library database by using Oracle tools, then from ER diagram you can easily create the table. Simply from ER diagram you can create the table. Yeah, from ER diagram you can create the table and you can implement in the database, which can be used to quickly build the database. In addition, ER diagram can directly be used by the database developer as the very much important blueprint for implementing a database in a specific software. So blueprint means what? Last lecture, what is the blueprint? Blueprint nothing but the schema. Blueprint nothing but the schema, structure. Yeah. So which help us to complete the implementation of the database. Here ER diagram, in addition, ER diagram can directly be used by the database developer as the blueprint for the implementing the database by using the specific software tools, software application. For example, Oracle, for example, DB2, for example, Windows Server, and etc. Lastly, very much important, ER diagram may be applied in other contexts such as describing the different relationship and operation within organization. Yeah. So ER diagram represented the relationship. Yeah. If you supposed to consider the database for MMIT, ER diagram for MMIT, then you have to consider the different department and what relationship exists between department that also represented by the ER diagram, that also depicts by the particular diagram. If there is a library in the college, what relationship between department and the library? If there is an administrative office, what relationship between administrative office, department and the library? If there is a storage, then what relations between storage, department, library, office? So likewise, ER diagram describe the relationship and the operation within a particular example. As we consider example, as I said, let's draw the ER diagram for MMIT and identifies the relationship between different department, identifies the entity from different department. Yeah, so you should follow the step for drawing the ER diagram for the MMIT, for the organization, for the library system, for the banking system, airline reservation system, and many organizations. Question may arise: what is the benefit of the ER diagram? You should be straightforward, state and explain the benefit of the ER diagram. Question may arise that what are the steps has to be followed while drawing the ER diagram? You have to be specify the step in detailed ways. You have to be what are the best practices has to be followed while drawing the ER diagram. You have to be explain this also, right? So these are 3-4 questions that may come on this topic. So as he has shown, you can see, look at this diagram. So this is the ER diagram for the library database management system. This is the ER diagram for library management system, LMS. Look at this, LMS, library management system. Look at this diagram. What are the entity here considered? What are the attribute? What are the relationship exist among the entity? Yeah, exist among the entity. So if you consider the book as an entity, so what are the book as an entity? Entity, not entities. Yeah, books and book, singular name. book have a title, book having the IT, which is underline. Underline means it may consider the key or primary key. Remember, yeah, key or primary key. So still now we are not explained the primary key, but key we know. So wherever is underlined, it is the key attribute. Yeah, remember, wherever it underlined, it is considered as key attribute. Key attribute. So book having a title, book ID is attribute, which is a key attribute. Author is attribute, price is attribute, available, book available or not. This is also attribute. And you can also add, if you have your own perception, you can add the more attribute. So book having the publisher. Suppose there is a publisher, right? We can say LPI publisher, Dirari publication, TechMax publisher. So many other publisher, national, international, low price edition, right? So these are the publisher, right? Book published by publisher, right? So publisher having publisher ID, publisher address, publisher name, yeah, publisher we can consider as a entity, and book and publisher associated by relation published by. Suppose I am the publisher, so I will publish somebody else's books, right? So published by is the relation between publisher and the book. Yeah. So next issue. Yeah. So you are student, right? Library issue the book, right? Borrowed by. Yeah, borrowed by. So if you are the student or the member, library members, so you are going to be issue or borrowed the book, right? You are going to be, so issuer means we can consider entity. Here is a staff. But the issue means we can consider the staff. Issue means as here shown as an entity. As shown entity. Any non-teaching staff sitting in the library, we can say that is the entity. He is responsible for issuing the book, and you are responsible for borrowing the book. Yeah. So this is associated. You are going to be borrow the book, borrowed by student, issued by non-teaching staff. Remember. So you can show here, right? Yeah. So student having the attribute. Let's expiry date. So your date, right? Member ID, member date, members. We cannot see here, but maybe a member mail ID, address, member names, and many attribute. Again, you can add here. So we can add like that if the member is a student, from which class the student is. Class, yeah, TEB second year. You can add the department, from which department the student, from which department student is. Maybe a computer mechanical, we can add the department also. If you think, I said perception come. When thinking come, then perception come. If you think and you feel that this attribute to be considered, then you can add the attribute also here. In member entity, member ID is underlined, means it is key attribute. Member ID is key attribute. Yeah. So so this is the ER diagram for library management system. So one more example we are going to be considered here, the ER diagram for banking system. Go through in detail ways. I will so go through the picture one by one. I will stop 1 minute for you. Go through the pictures and clear it. Again, I will explain. Go through each entity. If you feel that we can add more, yes, it is the full liberty has been given to you that how you are going to be elaborate, how you are going to be structure, how you are going to be create betterly. Yeah, how you are going to be create it betterly. That's up to you. That is how you think. That is how you perceive. That is important. So let's consider the first entity from the banking system, which is the account. Account having an account number and balance. You can underline the account number if it is a key attribute. Account type, saving account, current account, overdraft